raised alarm over the expanding speed limits, exemption, and other permissions granted to members of parliament and ministers of state.
The amendment of Regulation 74 of the LI 2180 will now permit the fitting of sirens or bells as warning appliances on specific classes of vehicles, including those owned by justices of the Supreme Court, members of parliament, and ministers of state. This implies that if there is a traffic in town, these individuals can use the siren to make their way through. Additionally, an amendment of the regulation of the LI indicates that speed limit regulations will no longer apply to MPs and ministers of states. In December 2020, Parliament passed into law the Road Traffic Amendment Bill 2020, which introduces stiffer punishment for road traffic offenders whose actions lead to the death of an unborn child. This is the first time a private member's bill proposed by members of Parliament was approved by Parliament.
And in politics, the Institute of Economic Affairs has emphasized the need for a debate before the 2024 elections involving some of the political parties planning to contest. The IEA believes such debates are essential for voters to evaluate both presidential and vice presidential candidates, enabling informed decision-making. This stance comes amid apparent disagreement between the New Patriotic Party and the opposition National Democratic Congress regarding the necessity of holding debates.
In an interview with the media in Accra, Professor Alexander Bilson Dako, a senior fellow at EIE, revealed that discussions have already begun with various political parties to organize a debate before December 7. He said the need for debate is a right of the people of Ghana, who ought to know what their presidential candidates and political parties have in stock for them. Professor Alexander Bilson Dako also mentioned that the participating parties and their candidates will be carefully selected using the Afrobiometer criteria, which establishes a threshold to be used to invite parties to participate in a debate. He said the IEA is looking at 4 or 5 parties, their presidential candidates and vice presidential candidates. The flag bearer of the governing New Patriotic Party, NPP, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, has challenged his counterparts from the National Democratic Congress, the NDC, John Dramani Mahama, to a debate ahead of this year's elections. However, the NDC believes such a debate is unnecessary, arguing that the real issues are evident in the harsh economic conditions that Ghanaians are currently experiencing.
So, chiefs of the Nzima traditional area, where Ghana's first president, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, hails from, have rejected the apology issued by the New Patriotic Party's running mate, Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh, regarding his recent comments about Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. The chiefs, who view Napo's comments as a denigration of a demanding Ghana's first president, are demanding a formal apology made directly at Nkrofo, a symbolic site for Dr. Kwame Nkrumah's legacy.
During the unveiling in Kumasi, Dr. Opoku Prempeh asserted that President Akufo-Addo has surpassed all previous presidents in terms of development, including Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. He subsequently apologized for the comment through a statement after widespread condemnation. However, addressing a press conference over the weekend, Nana Kwesi Kutia, speaking on behalf of the Nzima chiefs, insisted that Dr. Opoku Prempeh must personally apologize in Nkrofo for what they view as a denigration of Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Nana Kwesi Kutia underscored the significance of Dr. Nkrumah to the Nzima people, Ghana as a whole, emphasizing that any disparaging remarks about the late president are deeply offensive. He addressed that a formal apology made directly to Nkrofo, Dr. Nkrumah's birthplace, a symbolic site for his legacy, will be necessary to appease the community and uphold respect for their revered leader.
Ntinananom yajidi se asema Dr. Opoku Prempeh eka ye no eya asema enye se yeka wabu Ghana fo nyina animtia wabu nzima animtia Western region ana nkrofoman wabu ye animtia ya te se watro letter se de okan ye no wanum ne ho yen ye fele se eje se onu ankasa tutu ne nan ebe nkrofo hanum sei enzima ha ebehia na nanom ene abusuafo no na wo de chopa eto na nane abusuafo anim ansana ya de atumu se ampa wanum ne ho se saade no amaso a yen no ye nyi ni se wanum ne ho.
And in other stories, the annual Quran recitation for 2024 took place on Saturday, July 13 at the Adenta Zongo Central Mosque under the esteemed leadership of Serkin Zongo Adenta Bashiru Adamu Soja. This significant event not only focused on religious devotion but also provided a platform that enabled attendees to register for the National Health Insurance Scheme at no cost.
This year's recitation was particularly noteworthy due to its theme, Say No to Political Vigilantism, Zongo Youth. The timely message resonates deeply in an election year, emphasizing the critical role of peaceful civic engagement. The event drew an impressive assembly of over 80 Zongo chiefs and opinion leaders from nearly all the Zongo communities across Ghana, highlighting the unity and collective commitment to peace within these communities. Following the recitation, the National Chief Imam urged the youth to exercise caution and wisdom in their actions during the election period. He stressed the importance of maintaining peace and avoiding any form of violence or misconduct, thereby ensuring a stable and harmonious electoral process. His prayers for peaceful elections were a central moment of the gathering, reinforcing the community's dedication to national tranquility. Additionally, several chiefs and elders took the opportunity to pray for the nation, calling for peace during and after the election. Their collective prayers and advice underscored a unanimous plea to the youth to resist any attempt of manipulation for political gain and to uphold the principles of integrity and peaceful coexistence.
Here, who voted his time and come here to come and help us for us to do this Quran recitation and praise to God on peaceful election. I'm greeting everybody. Everybody is welcome.
Wasi obia wadobia se wasanso ma obia aba.
And we pray to God this election that we will do. May God let everything to move on successful the way everybody wants. Any person where God has chosen him, we are praying to God. God should let we all to accept the person in good faith.
The annual Quran recitation thus served as both a spiritual and civic rallying point, blending the religious observance with a powerful social message. Under the leadership of Serkin Zongo Adenta Bashiru Adamu Soja, the event successfully reinforced the Zongo community's resolve to contribute positively to Ghana's democratic process, advocating for peace and unity in a crucial election year.
And now on the international front, rescuers workers were attempting to find students buried under rubble after a two-story school collapsed during morning classes Friday in north-central Nigeria, killing 22 students. According to authorities, workers were searching for more than 100 people trapped in the rubble. the Saints Academy College in Plateau State, Busa Buji community, collapsed shortly after students, many of whom were 15 years old or younger, arrived for classes.
A total of 154 students were initially trapped in the rubble, but Plateau Police spokesperson Alfred Alabo later said 132 of them had been rescued and were being treated for injuries in various hospitals. Dozens of villagers gathered near the school, some weeping and others offering to help as excavators combed through the debris from the parts of the building that had caved in. Nigeria's National Emergency Management Agency said rescue and health workers as well as security forces were deployed at the scene immediately after the collapse, launching a search for the trapped students. The state government blamed the tragedy on the school's weak structure and location near a riverbank and urged schools facing similar issues to shut down. Building collapses are becoming common in Nigeria, Africa's most populous country, with more than a dozen such incidents recorded in the last 2 years. Authorities often blame such disasters on a failure to enforce building safety regulations and on poor maintenance.
Still on international stories, supporters of former President Donald Trump gathered in Huntington Beach, California, as the former president called for unity and resilience on Sunday following an attempt on his life, adding fresh uncertainty to an already tumultuous presidential campaign, and raised sharp questions about how a gunman was able to open fire from a rooftop near Pennsylvania campaign rally. A full day after the shooting, the gunman's motive was still a mystery, and investigators said they believe he acted alone before being fatally shot by security service agents. President Joe Biden ordered an independent security review of the attack, which killed a bystander and critically wounded 2 others. The FBI was investigating the shooting as a potential act of domestic terrorism. Back in California, supporters voiced a range of sentiments following the incidents. Nico Williams became the second player of Ghana descent to win the Euros after scoring in Spain's 2-1 victory over England on Sunday. Williams, whose older brother Inaki is a Ghanaian international, joins Marcel Desailly, who won the tournament in 2000 with France.
Until Sunday night, Desailly had been the only footballer of Ghanaian descent to win the European Championship, but the French legend now has great company. Williams was one of the best players of the Euro 2024, delivering a brilliant display as Spain won the tournament for a record 4th time at the expense of England. Spain's young star wingers combined to give them the lead 2 minutes after the break, as Lamine Yamal's pass opened up space for Williams to beat England keeper Jordan Pickford with a powerful low finish. Chelsea's Cole Palmer raised hopes of another dramatic comeback with a composed left foot strike after 73rd minute. However, Spain snatched the win 4 minutes from time as Oyarzabal slid home Marc Cucurella's cross, leaving England as the nearly men once more. Had England won, Kobbie Mainoo, whose parents are both Ghanaian, would have become the second player of Ghanaian descent after Desailly to win the championship.
And this is all we have for you on our midday news. For more stories, log on to our website, bayinamultimedia.com. I'm Khadija Kubra Keilani. Have a good afternoon.